The football gods hate the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know what this team did to piss them off, but they got guys going out with injuries left and right. They already were down several key players on defense, especially in the secondary. And then yesterday, news came out that JJ McCarthy was going to miss his entire rookie season due to meniscus surgery. He balled out in his first preseason game last week against the Las Vegas Raiders, and he showed a lot of promise in that matchup, and you definitely were really intrigued to see him get more playing time, and maybe he potentially could have started somewhere around the middle portion of this season. And with him going down, we got to talk about what this means for Minnesota as far as this season. Because you got Sam Darnold, who was already expected to be your starter this year. Now, without a doubt, Sam Darnold is going to be running the show regardless of how bad he may play. The good thing is, Sam Darnold isn't one of those QBs that's going to completely flame out and give you no competent QB play at all. He's a really good bridge quarterback, somebody that can get you by for a year. And with how good of an offensive mind Kevin O'Connell is, you were never going to play JJ McCarthy that much anyway. At least that's what the plan was. And with the talent that you have around Sam Darnold, Jordan Addison, Jay Jettis, TJ Hawkinson, you bring in Aaron Jones in free agency. There's a lot for Sam Darnold to thrive with. And there's a reason why he's on another team once again. He was a former first-round pick, and he had high expectations coming into the league. And there are some teams out there that still feel that there's some untapped potential to be unleashed when it comes to Sam Darnold. Kevin O'Connell may be the head coach who could get all of that juice out of Sam. Minnesota, I don't feel they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Yeah, they do have several guys out with injuries, but they're one of those teams that, with great coaching, they can overachieve. They also have Brian Flores calling the plays on defense, and he runs an aggressive style defense, a lot of blitzes. He can force a lot of turnovers with his style of play calling. There's a road to 8-9 wins for the Minnesota Vikings this year. JJ McCarthy was always supposed to take this year to be a red shirt. He never was supposed to see the field. So if he would have had to play this year, that probably would have meant that Minnesota wasn't doing that good. Sam Darnold was playing so awful to the point that he was costing them games, and they threw out JJ McCarthy as a last resort to see not only what he has, but to also maybe save their season. Sam Darnold gives you veteran quarterback play. He is going to do a pretty good job of taking care of the football. And think about how competitive Minnesota was last year with Nick Mullins and Joshua Dobbs at quarterback once Kirk Cousins was out for the year with that Achilles injury. Not all hope is lost for the Vikings this season. Let's be honest. This wasn't going to be a playoff team if JJ McCarthy started anyway. And you probably still won't be a playoff team with Sam Darnold. But you're not going to just be a pushover where you just get blown out week after week. Kevin O'Connell is too good of a coach for that to happen. And you got way too much talent to just fall off into the pits of despair with teams like the Las Vegas Raiders this year. You're a good team. You're going to have decent enough quarterback play that as long as Brian Flores' defense can keep you in games and force takeaways, you can get a couple upsets and you can have a path to an 8-win season, which I think is probably where the expectations should be for this franchise, at least at this moment. Now, when you think of the long-term implications of JJ McCarthy's injury, having to require meniscus surgery, I don't feel like it's going to be anything that is career-altering. You guys have to think that in today's NFL, with the new access to the health professionals and the medicine and the treatment that these players receive, he should be able to make a full recovery. And I expect JJ McCarthy in year 2 to be the starting QB for Minnesota and to have a really good career with this team. I was not high on him when he was coming out of Michigan, but it's not about the player. It's about where the player goes, because the head coach is like a chess player. The better head coach you have, the better he does of putting his chess pieces in position to win the game. And with JJ McCarthy going to establish offensive mind and Kevin O'Connell, he's going to build the best offense around McCarthy to help maximize his skill set. And JJ McCarthy, another reason why the meniscus injury doesn't scare me when I think about his future is that his playing style was never really about him running around and making things happen with his legs. This is a throwback quarterback. He wants to beat you from within the pocket, and he's at his best when he's operating inside of the pocket within the rhythm of the offense. So the meniscus injury may take away a little bit of his athleticism, but this is somebody that is a true pocket passer, and that's the way that he was going to end up succeeding in Minnesota. Now, they probably won't be able to run the kind of plays that they wanted to post-injury as much. You're probably not going to be running design QB runs or zone reads with JJ McCarthy as much, but I still think there is a lot of promise in what JJ McCarthy could be for this franchise. So if you're a Vikings fan, hang in there. I don't expect you to be terrible this year. You're going to be a middle-of-the-road team. You're going to be competitive. And next year, when you have some more cap space, you get JJ McCarthy fully healthy, you got a really big 2025 campaign